Hello, my friends, it's Johnaroth, and today we are going back to a little bit more of a classic commander, a very strong card from years past. Today we look at Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Uro is a 3-mana creature, kind of. He's a 1, a green, and a blue for a 6/6, and when Uro enters, you sacrifice it unless it escaped. When Uro enters or attacks, you gain 3 life, draw a card, and then you may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. And then for 2 green and 2 blue, you exile 4 other cards from your graveyard to bring back Uro. So when you first cast Uro for 3 mana, he comes out on the battlefield, you get to draw a card, you gain 3 life, you can put a land on the battlefield, but you have to sacrifice Uro. So he goes to the graveyard. Then you need to get 5 cards into your graveyard, and then you can pay the 4 mana to get him onto the battlefield again. You draw a card, you get 3 life, and he stays onto the battlefield at that point. So Uro is a really interesting card. It's always been a pretty powerful contender as far as cards goes, because you get that early ramp, that life gain, that card draw, and then you get a really powerful 6/6 the second time you bring him onto the battlefield. So in support of this, we have a lot of very standard type blue and green cards. We have a lot of counter magic, wash away, strict serenade, spell pierce, Tails End, counterspell, mana drain, all the usual suspects tied to counterspells to stop our opponent from doing things, basically. And then we have a lot of ramp cards like Delighted Halfling, Birds of Paradise, Fanatic of Ronus, cards that are going to get us more and more mana so we can cast more and more powerful spells. So ramp and counter spells are kind of the name of the game with this specific build. In the latter part of the game, we do have some cards that are focused on time spells, things of that nature. So we have Temporal Manipulation, Time Warp, things of that nature. And then on the very top end of this deck, we have cards that can just win you the game outright. Kiora Best the Sea God, which can get you an 8/8, tap the creatures, take control of things. Primeval Titan, an incredibly broken card, which gets you multiple lands. River's Rebuke, which bounces everything back to your opponent's hands. And Bonnie Paw, which gets you a 6/5, as well as an Ox that has the same power as your land. You get to draw cards, put more land on the battlefield. So this deck is all about counter spells, land, and then getting some additional turns to cast some powerful effects. So let's see if Uro is still up to his title as a Titan and take him into the queue. Let's go. Very first game is against Atraxa Grand Unifier, so they really let us off easy, didn't they? This hand has some counter and removal for his inevitable ramp. We do get to go first. We do get to surveil, so that's a plus. Put down the land, surveil. Throw the land in the graveyard. Atraxa is a ridiculous magic card, quite honestly. Oh. We're going to put down Bristly Bill. It's a 6-mana, flying, vigilance, death touch, lifelink, and when it enters, you look at the top 10, and basically you can put 1 card of each type into your hand, which is ridiculous. If he doesn't kill Bristly Bill, oh, he's going to. Okay. But we actually can get rid of the enchantment, so maybe this isn't so bad. I'm gonna cast Uro first, though. I'm gonna keep the Broken Bond just in case. Okay. He has... I'm gonna put down a land. I'm just gonna pass for now. I'm hoping he casts some huge spell. Opponent's debating. Apparently, our opponent is a legend killer. It's a shame that Broken Bond is a sorcery. If it was an instant, it'd be a lot better, quite honestly. Has our opponent already given up? I don't know how you all feel about the timer on Arena, but I feel like it's just too long. It's like they give the person way too much time to just sit there and not do anything, which is odd to say the least. Okay. We're going to cast Bushwhack to get another land. Hopefully. If there's anyone who watches my videos from Bones Coffee, I would love to be sponsored by your company. I love your coffee a lot. Cheers. It's not exactly what I would call a legend killer type move to me. Okay. Let's get rid of the unable to scream. Let's put a land card onto the battlefield. Now let's swing in with Bristly Bill. Apparently we are going to defeat a legend killer today. More than likely. First game. Uro is a really great commander. He's been around for quite a while, and when he first came out, I think he was a very misunderstood Magic card. There was a lot of people that didn't see the value in him because you have to get him out of the graveyard and those types of things. But Uro is super strong. He really is a very powerful card, especially as the game progresses. You get more and more cards in your graveyard. It just proves to get you a lot of advantage once you can start getting him out onto the battlefield, drawing more cards, drawing more lands. So I just find him a great card. And apparently so does Legend Killer, because he's giving up. Good game, Legend Killer. Good game. Our next game is against Narset, Enlightened Master. Our hand is a little light on mana. but I'm going to keep it since we have some ways of stopping Narset in our hand. I'm going to get the Surveil land. We'll keep the Flooded Strand on top. Narset is a 6 mana, first strike hexproof, so it's really hard to get rid of her once she's on the battlefield. And whenever Narset attacks, I'm going to activate this land now, so we're not waiting. Whenever Narset attacks, you exile the top 4 cards, and you may cast any non-creature spells from among those cards without paying their mana cost. So, very scary card. On our turn, we're going to put down a land, try to get out a Palantir, which we are successful. I'm going to keep it as is. Our opponent just took 5 damage from Tatiova. Expensive Surveil there. Opponent's down to 18. Got our land. I'm going to get out Brawl. And our opponent scoops. The power of the Palantir is just going to get us more and more cards. We've got ways of bouncing Narset, countering Narset, making copies of Narset. So I do feel pretty confident that we can close this game out. But Narset is a very scary commander. Because of that hexproof, you can't target her. Basically, when you get on her onto the battlefield, the only way you're going to get rid of her is with board wipes or some sort of sacrifice effect or a bounce spell. So getting out that Palantir early in the game really helped us, and we have a decent hand to kind of back that up. Really good game. Okay, our next game is against Asika, God of the Tree, aka Prismatic Bridge deck. And they're done already. Good game. Okay, our next game is against the Balloon Man, so a very fast red deck where he can make copies of creatures. This hand does have a way for us to go through our deck fast to get Uro onto the battlefield, as well as another way to mill cards, so I'm going to keep this. Opponent gets Skrelv. I'm going to tap the Verdant Catacombs to go get a breeding pool. We'll put that onto the battlefield. We will draw for another land. I'm going to go for a forest because we already have an island in our hand. Going to get down Jace. Opponent summons a Circuit Breaker. We'll block the Skrelv and take one. I'm going to summon Uro. It's going to get another land. My goal is to get to 6 lands so we can bounce all of his stuff by some time. He's going to make a copy of the circuit. Gain some life. We'll block the Spirited Companion. Now we're going to activate Jace's ability to get another card. The question is what do we put in the graveyard? I'm going to put the Vista in the graveyard. We're at 5 lands. I'm going to get out Ren. And we're going to make one of our lands a 3/3. Hexproof.
Please, buy us more time.
For protection here, we'll hold the line. Let's see what our opponent does here. Opponent's going to make a copy. Draw another card. Ren is proving to be a pretty good distraction, which is great. Gonna hit Ren for 1.
Hold on.
Getting at a Kethion. We're going to use Jace's ability to discard again. See if we can find something good. Gonna fragment reality to get a random card. That's perfectly fine. Get Llanowar Elf. I'm going to... What do I want to discard? I'll discard the Spark Double for now. Put down a land. We're going to use Ren's ability here.
Must not.
We'll get the... We just need lots of mana, so we'll get the Forest. I do want to bounce him, but if I bounce him, I won't be able to do anything else this turn. And I just don't feel a lot of pressure yet, so instead I'm going to get out Uro. We do have a land here. We could get out a Haughty Djinn. We could make a copy of something else. I'm going to go ahead and make... I'm going to bring out a Haughty Djinn. Pass the turn. I'm hoping our opponent will spend a lot of his time focused on Ren, attacking Ren, going after Ren. But we'll see. Opponent's eyeing, he may have a Swords to Plowshares or something like that, maybe. Okay, as a Get Lost. Uro goes back into the graveyard. I'm just going to leave him in the graveyard right now. Opponent has an Enduring Courage. He does get to draw another card. He's going for an all-out attack on Ren. So he really is fixated on that card. I am going to have to let Ren die.
My soul ends.
Virtue will always
He does
triumph.
he is able to transform Kynthian into Gideon. Who can make a creature indestructible, as well as do some attack modes, which is perfectly fine. It's our turn. First things first, we're going to River's Rebuke. Get all of those creatures back into his hand. I'm glad we saved that card. That is a big part of this. I'm going to cast Flare of Cultivation to look for 2 lands. Let's get some islands here. Put an island on the battlefield. We're going to use the Land of War Elf and the map token to pump him up. I'm going to put Tamu in the graveyard. She's not very good right now. Let's use another map token here. Mossborn Hydra. That is a good card. I'm going to hold back on the Haughty Djinn because of the fact that he does have some creatures that can give haste, etc. Yeah, and our opponent is just too far behind on mana. On our turn, we can summon Tatiova, potentially get our Uro, make a copy. Mossborn Hydra, once we get some lands going, is just going to pump up hugely, insanely large. Our opponent had a lot of great creatures, but he was too heavily invested in the battlefield where a single bounce spell basically demolished his whole defense. So, really good game. Game is against Yorion, Sky Nomad, a Blink deck more than likely. We do have a land for Surveil, search for Azcanta, Bristly Bill. This hand's pretty decent. We're going to keep it. Yorion is a 4/5 creature that when he enters, basically, I'm going to crack this land now. Just because he does play blue, he might have some sort of stifle effect. We're going to put down the Hedge Maze. We're going to Surveil. Nissa's great, but not what we need right now. When Yorion enters, exile any number of non-land permanents you own and control, and you return those to the battlefield at the end of the next end step. So basically, Yorion's goal is to get onto the battlefield and flicker different types of creatures that have benefits once they get onto the battlefield. I'm going to go ahead and get out Bristly Bill. I want some sort of immediate threat to our opponent on the battlefield. Opponent's going to cast Ossification, which will lock down Bristly Bill. going to put down our Cavern of Souls, and we're going to say Giant for Uro. We do get another land. We're going to decline to put him back in the command zone. We're going to go for another island. An Overlord of the Flood Pits, which means he's going to draw 2 cards and then discard a card. We are going to cast Into the North to get another forest. Then we're going to cast as Search for Azcanta to start scrying through cards. Opponent is eyeing the Search for Azcanta. Cyclonic Rift I'm going to put into the bin. Okay, we did get another land. I'm going to try to get out Uro. We'll see. Opponent is going to draw some cards and then put a couple back with Brain Surge. We're going to hold up our mana. I'm hoping he casts Yorion. That's what I really hope he does here. Whether or not that actually oh, look at that. He has a Cavern of Souls, so I can't counter Yorion. However, I can Tails End the Borrowed Time. Coast is a good card, but I really need something else right now, so I'm going to bin that as well. I think what we need to do first is attack with Uro and see what we get. Get a land, put that on the battlefield. I don't see a point in that. I'm going to cast Jace. Let's see if we can draw something that's going to help us here. So I'm going to put the Arboreal Grazer and the... Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to put the Kiora and the Blizzard Brawl back on top of the library. Blizzard Brawl first. We're going to put down another land. I will pick up one of the tapped forests. I need 5 cards. I need 6 cards in the graveyard to get out the Abhorrent Oculus. The Skyclave, which takes care of the Uro. I'll bring that back. He's going to flicker the Skyclave, which is going to get rid of Jace. Let's put the Blizzard Brawl in the graveyard. I'm going to summon Kiora. See what we can draw. We're going to discard 2 cards. I'm going to discard the Arboreal Grazer and the Planar Genesis. We'll put down a land. And I'm going to bounce the Overlord. Back to the hand. Pass the turn. He can flicker the Skyclave again. Perfectly fine. If he didn't have the Cavern of Souls, we would be in really good shape, quite honestly. The cavern's the problem. I'm gonna bring out the Brazen Borrower. I'm not sure why he didn't do anything. Gonna counter that and create a token. Gonna get out the Abhorrent Oculus. Put down a land. We're gonna swing in with the 4/4 token we have. Gonna block with both the Skyclaves. We'll get out several creatures here. Our Oculus is going to manifest Dread here. We will get Tameo. Yeah, if he did not have that Cavern of Souls, we would be in good shape. However, he's going for the all-out aggressive attack. I'm going to counterspell that. And we win the game. Yeah, if he had focused on bringing out Yorion, I probably wouldn't have been able to counter that, and then he could have flickered his removal spells to take out some of my army, but instead being for an all-out aggressive attack against blue is not always a good idea. So really good game. There was a lot of back and forth there. I really enjoyed it. Good game, Phantom 7. Thank you, my friends, for watching another one of my videos, this one featuring Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath. Is Uro as good today as he was a few years ago? I would say he's gotten a little less powerful as power creep has gone on, and we've seen more cards and higher ramp and people having out huge armies as early as turn 3. Uro is still a good Magic card, though, and still a force to be reckoned with. You just have to ensure you control the early part of the game, countering your opponent's big spells, ramping as fast as you can to get some of those big effects later on in the game. I would put him about the low B to high C tier as far as power level goes, based off today's meta. The deck list is in the description below. Please don't forget to like. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to leave a comment below telling me what your thoughts about Uro or the next Final Fantasy set or Magic in general, or your favorite condiments on a hamburger. I don't really care. I just like interacting with the Magic community. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.